All right, so we got a Sika Doe this morning, and we're gonna go ahead and skin it down, get it hung up in the walk-in cooler. Got two new knives to use today from Mountain Blade Works that we're really excited about. One's more of like an EDC skinner. This guy's gonna be great for kind of caping them out. If you like seeing these how-to videos on how to skin animals, how to process them, cook them, let us know. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll keep filling up your feed. Good quick tip, get the ground wet first. If you're doing it over concrete, it helps the blood wash up afterwards a lot easier. Oh, if you're gonna use two knives, make sure you're careful. Paul and I have cleaned a lot of deer together, so we kind of have a great rhythm. What we're gonna go ahead and do, as you can see, he's gonna cut down here towards the pelvis, come below the udders. I will meet him on this side, and then we'll bring those cuts around, help peel them down. Once we get to the tail, we'll pop that tailbone and continue skinning it on the whole way down, pushing the hide down. When we get to the armpits, that's where it gets a little tricky getting around that joint right there, or not necessarily the joint, kind of actually the muscle on the outside. And we'll get to the neck, peel it down, take off the head, pull whatever neck meat we can, quarter it, take out the back straps, tenders, and if there's enough rib meat on here, we'll go ahead and take that as well. Always want to be real careful to not cut this back tendon. If you do, whenever you have a deer hung up like this, it's going to drop that whole side.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Gonna have a bad time.
This is an exotic, not a whitetail, and so we don't have to keep any proof of sex or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and remove that from the quarters.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get into this tail right here, and you just cut right to the base of the tailbone.
Oh, you cut the shitter too early.
All right, see, we got a lot of fat on here. We went ahead and cut down to the tailbone. I cut right up to it, and you can kind of cut through it. If you get it just right, I typically grab the tail underneath and just give it one pop. Good to go. All right, so you can see we've got it down below the hindquarters, open it up all the way down to the sternum, and now we're gonna go ahead and roll up the hide, get a grip, and both pull on it. 2, 3.
Heel.
So at this point now, we have the hide pulled over the front shoulder, and what can be a little tricky is getting the hide taken off from the inside of the armpit. So
Work your way around.
go ahead. Yeah, work your way around, pull that down. Go ahead.
Then pull down. Yeah. Get it down. Once you get your hand in there, it should come down. Cut it right there. Yeah. That'll do.
I pop the joint.
Yeah. Gotta get it down a little further to get to it.
All right, so we got a little bit of meat damage here from the shot that happens with the rifle shot sometimes. But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take off the lower part of his leg, figure out where that joint is, and you're gonna put your knife right there, and it cuts open real easy. You're just gonna separate the two bones. I go ahead and usually just twist it, come back, clean it off. And as you can see, you don't have to cut through the bone. It's a nice and easy, clean cut. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take these back straps off. As you can see what Paul's already done, he's removed the fat out of the way, and now he's cut down the spine, following the spine along the way. You're gonna cut the top, do the same thing along the ribs on the other side, and the back strap comes out nice and easy. While Paul's getting the back straps, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the front quarters. What you do, pull the arm away from his chest, and it's gonna open it up, and you'll cut into his armpit, and it pops right off that shoulder blade. It's also gonna help open up that back strap for Paul to get on this other side. Coming back to the other side, pull that arm away. Gonna go ahead and follow it up. As you can see, got a lot of bullet damage that we'll go ahead and cut around when we process this. There's your front quarter. So you can see he's just working his knife along those ribs, pulling the back strap. You don't even have to pull that hard. The weight of it, the strap, is enough almost. Take it all the way down into the neck. You'll see where it ends. Ready to go. Oh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get the tenderloins now, and we do like a hybrid of the gutless method. We're gonna pull down the abdomen just a little bit, let the guts fall out of the way, and we'll be able to pull out the tenders. Based on how this deer has been, and looks like we're right, the tenderloins are gonna be covered in a layer of fat.
Yep. That protein, I might get some cold fat out of her.
Just peel that out of the way, and you can see the tenderloin right here. You're gonna come down here, detach, go along those ribs, and you can almost just pull it off with your finger, run it up there. And I come all the way up into the hind leg, and when you cut it, you'll feel it snap and detach, and it'll retract down towards the base. All right, so next step, last step, we're gonna go ahead and take these hindquarters, and the way we're gonna do that is I'm gonna unhook one of them and allow it to fall away from the pelvis, and we'll go ahead and cut it off of the pelvis bone. The most important part for that step is just keeping your right knife angles and following the bone. Otherwise, you can leave behind a lot of meat. So now we got the, I was working the meat off of that bone.
Bend it up a little bit. Yeah, right there.
And so once you pop that joint, there's just a little bit more meat to go through on the other side.
Spin it.
And having two people makes a world of difference sometimes. One man can do it no problem, but that extra set of hands just speeds things up nicely. All right, so we got that deer broken down, got all the quarters, back straps, tenderloins laid out. We went ahead and sprayed them off because they did get pretty bloody, especially those front shoulders. We'll let those dry for a couple of minutes, air out in this wind, and then we're gonna go ahead and put them up in the walk-in cooler. First time using these Mountain Blade Work knives, and they worked awesome. Held an edge through the whole time. My hands are still super dirty, and they feel sticky. Not just from the blood, but they do have pretty good grip to them. We were able to process that deer and break it down pretty quick, so excited to use them again, hopefully maybe even this evening. Yeah. If you're interested in learning more about these knives or want to get one in your own hands, let us know. We'll put a link in the description. We can put you in touch with Bill. Makes a badass product.